Hello my friends, it's Laura. In today's video, once again, we are going to be talking about 5-star predictions, but this time I have 10 new 5-star predictions to share with you. If you have not yet seen the vlog I posted a couple days ago, reading my last 5-star predictions, go check that out. I chose those 5-star predictions based on the first sentence of the book alone, and this time I decided to choose my 5-star predictions by not choosing them myself. I actually made my husband choose books that he thinks I will give 5 stars based solely upon the cover. So this should be an interesting round. Let's get into it. I don't think these are in any particular order, but the first book we have is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is the third and final book in the Cassidy Blake series, which is her middle grade series. Now, I have read and enjoyed the first two, which were City of Ghosts, Tunnel of Bones, but I still have yet to read Bridge of Souls. I don't know why I have put it off for so long. This is the first 5-star prediction, and honestly, with a cover like that, I can see why he picked it. And I mean, I'd give the cover alone like a 5 out of 5. If you don't know, the Cassidy Blake series is about Cassidy Blake, who is a young girl who has the ability to see ghosts after a near-death experience, now has the ability to lift the veil between this world and the next, and she has a best friend who happens to be a ghost, and the series is all about her learning more about her powers and possibly facing something very dark and scary. I really loved the first two, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love the third one. At this point, however, I do need to reread the first two because I remember nothing of what happened in them. Next, we have The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagner. Here is the cover. It is very beautiful. This one, without looking at the back, I'm pretty sure it is historical fantasy. I'm pretty sure it has like a romantic element. It's been so long since I have read the synopsis or heard anyone talk about this, but it says sparks fly in this enchanting fantasy novel from the author of Unnatural Magic when a down-and-out fire witch and a young gentlewoman join forces against a deadly conspiracy. This actually sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm not gonna read the whole synopsis, but the synopsis is just pure fun. I mean, it says, with the help of a bird-loving necromancer, a shape-shifting schoolgirl, and an ill-tempered, reanimated mouse named Buttons. That just sounds like so much fun. I definitely think that this is one that I can enjoy. This was actually a pretty good choice. I'm impressed. Next, we have The Calculating Stars. Honestly, I don't know if he chose this one purely for the cover because this is a series that he has read and really enjoyed, so maybe that's why, but it is one that I wanted to read for quite some time. I picked this up, oh my goodness, I don't know how many years ago now. I picked this up a couple of years ago maybe because I had this concept where I wanted to read all of the Hugo nominees for a particular year. I can't even remember what year it was. It had to have been like 2020 or 2021. I don't know. I think it was the third book that was one of the nominees. And so I was gonna read the whole series. I ended up not doing that video, not doing that vlog, and so I never read the book either, but I do have the first and second book on my TBR. I should get around to reading it at some point. But this is a sci-fi. It says, on a cold spring night in 1952, a huge meteorite fell to Earth and obliterated much of the east coast of the United States, including Washington, D.C. The ensuing climate cataclysm will soon render Earth inhospitable for humanity, as the last such meteorite did for the dinosaurs. This looming threat calls for a radically accelerated effort to colonize space and requires a much larger share of humanity to take part in the process. Therefore, we have Lady Astronauts. I've heard really good things about this series. Sci-fi, alternate history. It sounds like something I would really enjoy, especially after how much I enjoyed the historical space aspect of The History of What Comes Next by Sylvain Neuvel. I think that I could really enjoy this one as well. So I'm excited to give this a read. We'll see whether or not it comes out being a 5-star. The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik, and it's quite interesting that he chose this one. It is a beautiful cover, that's for sure, but I loved the first book, which is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I read it the day it came out, loved it, gave it 5 stars, and then just never continued with the series, even though I did pick up the second book, which is what this is. The third book is now out. And has been out for a while. So it's about time I get around to reading this series. This might be a good one to do for another like series binge vlog, so I might do that. But the first book, A Deadly Education, in that we are following this magic school where there are monsters lurking in every corner, and the main goal of the school is to survive. There's no teachers, just students trying to keep themselves alive. There's really kind of like this prickly, unlikable main character who is destined to become this evil sorceress and kind of has to fight against that every day. Possibly a bit of a romance developing in the future. I don't know, but I really loved that first book, and I'm really excited to continue on with the second one and the third one, of course, because now it's out. But this is my next 5-star prediction. If I was to do this on my own based on logic, this would be a 5-star prediction, so that's good. Next we have The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin, and I know exactly why he picked this one, and it's because he likes the title. Although the cover is pretty stunning as well. But this one, of course, is an N.K. Jemisin. I have had this on a TBR this year so far. I think I wanted to read it in February. I think I might have even mentioned it on my March TBR. I never got around to it. I tried, actually. I think I started the audiobook and then realized there was just too much going on, and this was going to be a book that I had to read physically, and so I set aside the audiobook but then never picked it up. So I need to read it. I'm glad it's on the list. This will definitely encourage me to read it sooner rather than later. And honestly, I don't know what this is about other than people harvesting the magic of the sleeping mind and using it to heal, soothe, and kill those judged corrupt. Next, we have a YA fantasy that I picked up quite some time ago because it was getting a lot of buzz around the time that it came out. Of course, I still have not read it yet, and I was hoping to like kind of take a break from reading YA fantasy, contemporary, whatever, just because I haven't been having the best time with it. But this is actually one that I'm still interested in reading. This is Iron Widow by Shirin J. Zhao. This gives me just like that feminine rage vibe. Humanity relies on these giant transforming mechas that they use to battle massive aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. But in order to power these mechas, they have to have like this supported pair of pilots, a male and a female, and whatever happens to power the mechas causes the women to die. And so we're following a girl whose sister was killed by a male pilot, and she is out to avenge her. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. I really don't think I've heard anyone not love it. So I am really excited to give it a try, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I enjoy it as well. And next we have Network Effect by Martha Wells, and I'm laughing because this is another one that I've had on my TBR for just so long. I've read all of the books leading up to this book in the Murderbot Diaries, and I've just continuously put this off, and I really don't know why. I was so excited for a full-length novel in this series. If you don't know, the Murderbot series follows this non-human security unit that has kind of hacked their governing module and is now able to think for themselves and make decisions for themselves. And all they want to do is watch their soap operas and stay away from people because they don't like people, which is so relatable. And I love Murderbot. I've loved the first 4 books. This is the 5th. And they've been a series of novellas, and this is the first full-length novel. And I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but I am very excited to. I'm pretty sure more than just the cover went into this decision by my husband, because, I mean, the cover's fine, but it's not great. But I know we've both read the Murderbot series, and I'm pretty sure he's already read this novel, and I think he liked it. So that's probably why it's on the list. I don't actually think I've given any books in the Murderbot series 5 stars. I think they've all been like 4 stars. And next we have Vida Nostra by Marina and Sergei Dyachenko. This is a translated work, a dark academia thriller. So that's all I know about it. And from what I've heard, this gets weird and goes in some very interesting directions. So I'm very excited to give it a read and see what I think about it. I have been wanting to read it for quite some time, but I kept putting it off. I feel like this is such a great collection of books that I just continually put off reading. So I'm glad that they all made it on a curated list together, but I am very excited to read this. I've heard nothing but amazing things. So yeah, wish I could tell you more about this, but I honestly don't know that much. Then we have Poster Girl by Veronica Roth, another one I'm very excited to read. This is the beautiful Fairy Loot edition with the sprayed edges. But this is a dystopian, but I'm pretty sure there's like a society under constant surveillance. There's a lot of eye imagery here, so that would make sense. Other than that, I have no idea what's going on. I'm very excited to read it though, and it's a pretty short one, so that's a bonus. And I love Veronica Roth. Yeah, it's only 270 pages. Veronica Roth, if you happen to forget, wrote the Divergent series. She also wrote Chosen Ones more recently, which is an adult sci-fi that I absolutely loved. It's one of my absolute favorites, and it's getting a sequel, which I'm really excited about. And dystopia is what she does well, so I'm excited to read this. I think it's going to be a good time. Probably the one book that I've been putting off the longest, and that is Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. So my history with Victoria Aveyard, I read the Red Queen series back when it came out. Absolutely loved it. And so of course, when Victoria Aveyard was coming out with a new series, I was immediately on board. I was super excited for it. I remember getting this for my birthday the year it came out. When was that actually? 2021. Never read it. Never read it. It's been sitting on my shelf for two years now, almost 2 years now. Realmbreaker has kind of become an inside joke with us at this point, and so I'm not surprised that he chose this one. Whether or not I think it will be a 5-star, I don't. I really don't. I have no idea what this is about, to be honest with you. Honestly, the synopsis sounds very like generic fantasy. This is fate knocks on her door in the form of a mythical immortal and a lethal assassin who tell Coraine that she is the last of an ancient lineage with the power to save the world from destruction. So she is the chosen one. The synopsis really gives you nothing. Like, it's very generic. So I don't know what to expect with this one. I don't know what this is about. I have barely heard anyone talk about this book. Have you guys read this? Because if you've read it, please let me know if you enjoyed it or not. But yeah, I really haven't heard anything out there. But the time has come. The time has come. I will have to read it at some point soon. So we'll see how this one goes. I don't know, but I am eager to hear if you have read it and enjoyed it. Please let me know. Those are my new 5-star predictions chosen by my husband based solely on the covers. Let's see how this round goes. I'm very excited. It'll probably take me a couple of months to get through, or a few months to get through all of these, but I am very excited to do so. So talk to me down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought of them. And if you want to let me know you were here but you don't have anything to say, please leave me a sword emoji in the comments for Realmbreaker. That is going to be it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.